We'll have the latest from the campaign trail as the candidates make their final push.
We speak with our local political organizations on issues surrounding political sign placement in the Joplin area and whether they are compliant or not to city ordinance. I'm Caitlin Shive. That's coming up.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
Election Day 2020 is nearly here, and amid historic turnout numbers, both presidential candidates spent the day making their final pitch to swing state voters, with a particular emphasis on Pennsylvania. Natalie Brand reports.
With Election Day just hours away, President Trump and Democratic presidential nominee Joe Biden are still out on the campaign trail.
Tomorrow, we can end the presidency that has divided this nation.
On Monday, the two candidates fanned across 5 battleground states. The president hit 4 states with 5 rallies.
Tomorrow, we are going to win this state, and we are going to win 4 more years in the White House.
Joe Biden began the day with an unexpected stop in Cleveland. Before moving on to Pennsylvania, he was joined by Lady Gaga in Pittsburgh.
Folks, I have a feeling we're coming together for a big win tomorrow.
President Trump also stopped in the Keystone State. While in Scranton, Joe Biden's birthplace, he acknowledged that he's trailing Biden in several polls.
I have foreign leaders calling me saying, are they serious? I say, one of them called, said, I see that you're down a little bit in a poll. I said, can you believe this could happen to me?
President Trump denied a report that said he plans to declare victory if he's ahead on election night, but the president also hinted at a legal fight.
On Twitter, the president referenced a recent ruling by the Supreme Court on counting mail-in ballots in Pennsylvania, claiming without evidence it will allow unchecked cheating and saying it will induce violence in the streets. Biden's running mate, Senator Kamala Harris, accused the president of trying to undermine Pennsylvania voters' confidence.
He's doing it to distract from the fact that he actually has no record to run on.
More than 97 million Americans have already voted. That's the biggest ever early vote total and nearly 2/3 of all the ballots that were cast in 2016. Natalie Brand, CBS News, Washington.
Joe Biden will return to Pennsylvania on Tuesday for Get Out the Vote events in Philadelphia and his hometown of Scranton. President Trump will be at the White House hosting an election night party for 400 invited guests. Some Jasper County voters ran into long lines on this last day of early voting. The doors closed at 5 p.m. During the day, people were voting at both the Jasper County Courthouse in Carthage and at the Joplin location. Due to a trial taking place on the same floor as voting in Joplin, some people had to wait for up to an hour to get in and vote, as space was limited to nearly standing room only. Because of that trial, we were not able to shoot video inside the Joplin courthouse. In Carthage, wait times were a bit shorter, averaging around 30 to 40 minutes.
It was super long at first. There was a lot of us crowded in one room, but it started to weed out as we got up to the polling area.
Jasper County Clerk Charlie Davis says the court hearing is the reason the Joplin location was so full. All right, now tonight's KOAM News Now Insta poll. Today's question is, are you more likely to vote for or against a candidate? At this point, 85% say they're more likely to vote for one. You can give your answer at KOAMnewsnow.com/vote or through the KOAM News Now mobile app. We're going to update the results a little bit later in this newscast. The Jasper County, Missouri Republicans organization says some of their political signs have been taken down by the city of Joplin for violating the city's sign ordinance. KOAM's Caitlin Shive spoke with their chairman on how the organization found its own way to comply with the ordinance.
The Jasper County Republicans organizations say they have been getting complaints from citizens alleging the city removed their political signs because they don't follow size requirements.
It has to be 15 foot from the road, which we are. A lot of people don't think we are, but we actually measure that off from there, and that it can't exceed 8 square foot, which is basically a 2 foot by 4 foot sign.
The City of Joplin's ordinance states that political signs can't exceed 8 square feet in area and no more than 5 feet in height while being 15 feet away from the curb. Some of the Republican Party signs did exceed those size limits, so Chairman Alan Griffin released a video showing their adjustments of cutting the 4x8 signs into 4 2x4 parts.
We should cover ourselves if I'm not wrong. If I am, let me know.
I was kind of being wise guy, I guess. It's like we don't have one sign. We don't have two signs. We got 16 signs. So, yeah, I mean, I even did a hashtag City of Joplin. I mean, I will be willing to work with them, but there's always, and in fact, I even contacted an attorney before I did that, just say, hey, will we be compliant? And it's like, yeah, as long as you do it that way and you're 15 foot back, I don't think it'll be a problem.
The video came with its share of complaints, including those from the Southwest Missouri Democrats.
We feel like that's a bit of a strange response. If you're trying to follow the laws and ordinances of a community, then you need to follow the spirit of the laws and ordinances of the community.
Stark added that their biggest concern is accusations against their organization in relation to the cut signs.
Now that they've cut those signs, there are some of them that are not holding up super well, and so I'm getting complaints and people sending things to me saying, you know, you guys are vandalizing the Republican signs. We did not cut those signs. We did not remove them. The city of Joplin removed them because they did not meet with the ordinance.
The Republican organization does plan on going to the city to try and change the ordinance requirements for the next election year.
People are going to complain no matter what, but I'd like to see it change to where we can be compliant.
In Joplin, Caitlin Shive, KOAM News.
Person says the city has taken down signs that did not follow the ordinance, and that's not unusual, as it happens during most election years. Remember, as you do head to the polls tomorrow, leave your campaign apparel at home. Candidate hats, buttons, pens, and other material are not allowed near polling places, though the distances vary from place to place. In Kansas, that's 250 feet from the entrance. In Missouri, it's 25 feet from the building's outer door, and in Oklahoma, it's 300 feet from the ballot box. Nick Kelly joins us now with a first look at the weather. Getting a bit cooler out there, but still pretty nice overall.
Yeah, but thankfully we're not going back to the cold start that we had this morning, which makes the day all more impressive after we got the sun to rise. 32 this morning and shooting to an afternoon high of 67, which is actually where we should be for this time of the year for early November. Clear skies, that's what warmed us up earlier today, and we're keeping with the clear skies for the rest of the evening as temperatures continue to drop back. Thankfully, they're not going to cool off too much. Right now, we're sitting in the upper 40s to some lower 50s across the majority of the area. But as long as our breeze continues light, and especially out of the south and southwest, that means we won't deal with the 30s tonight, but it'll still be a cool start for our election day. We'll drop back into the lower to middle 40s for Tuesday morning. Then we'll waste no time warming up again. I'm thinking lower to middle 70s for afternoon highs tomorrow. We'll break down the rest of the week coming up here in a bit now.
Catch you then. 3 former nursing instructors have filed a lawsuit against Missouri Southern's Board of Governors, alleging whistleblower retaliation and a breach of contract after losing their jobs. KOAM's Kate Kelly tells us more about why these former instructors are taking legal action.
Missouri Southern's nursing program first came under scrutiny back in May after the state board received an anonymous tip about violations of state regulations. Professors Sarah Staples, Peyton Kessler, and Koita Ogle reported problems during a faculty accreditation meeting in March, bringing up concerns about being understaffed and overworked. A student feedback survey revealed that less than 50% of respondents rated the instructional environment as conducive for learning. Staples, Kessler, Ogle, and another employee suspected of providing the tip to the State Board of Nursing were dismissed. Now the trio of professors are seeking damages against the university in the form of lost salary, suffering, and mental anguish. MSSU declined to comment on any pending litigation, but said in part, "We know how important our nursing program is to this university as well as the four-state area, and we are unequivocally dedicated and committed to ensuring it is of exceptional quality and will provide students with an outstanding educational experience." Last year, falling board pass rates and fewer instructors in the program prompted MSSU and the Missouri State Board of Nursing to begin the process for curriculum changes. While the state board told MSSU during its July inspection that they may be ordered to accept no new students, the university continued to enroll a new cohort. Missouri Southern says new nursing program leadership and faculty have been hired, but the future of the university's nursing program still faces hurdles. In Joplin, Kate Kelly, KOAM News.
Staples, Ogle, and Kessler are represented by the Thornberry Brown law firm of Kansas City. Thornberry declined comment at this time, referring only to the petitions for details. A little bit later on KOAM News at 10, an athlete who shined at Pittsburgh High is now lighting it up at Pittsburgh State. And the company that operates Joplin's North Park Mall files for bankruptcy. Let's check in on tonight's KOAM News Now Instapoll. We're asking, are you more likely to vote for or against a candidate? At this point, 86% say they're more likely to vote for a candidate, 14% vote against one. You can give your answer at KOAMnewsnow.com/vote or through the KOAM News Now mobile app. We're going to have the latest numbers here in a bit. On the agenda tonight in Joplin, a baseball field lease agreement with Parkwood Tournament LLC. The agreement would let Parkwood lease several fields in order to host baseball tournaments between February of 2021 and November 2023. The Joplin City Council tonight approved the agreement.
I feel good about the contract. I do like the idea of saving dollars and bringing in new revenue and motivating the use of the fields. I also like the fact that if it doesn't perform like we want it to, we've created very easy exit strategies if we feel like we need to move a different direction.
Parkwood will pay the city $55,000 annually to lease the facilities, which will increase by 3% every year. Council also approved a construction agreement with Visa Sewer of Missouri for the 2020 East Town Infrastructure Sanitary Sewer Project. The agreement is for more than $378,000. It'll be used to reconstruct the existing sewer mains in the East Town neighborhood.
It's very, very important. We're trying to reduce the inflow and infiltration into a sanitary sewer line and doing rehab on manholes in the area, and so we're excited about the construction and the rehab improvement of that system out there.
Funding for the project comes from a community development block grant of $322,000, with the remaining cost coming out of the city budget. An especially important time is coming up for food pantries. Tonight was Cross Lines Commodity Night. Volunteers helped sort clothing and food donations.
So many of us are fortunate in our lives and so many are not. And it is our job to help those that aren't in any way we can, whether that's money or time or volunteer activities like this.
Cross Lines Ministries is located at 320 South School Avenue in Joplin. The company that operates Joplin's North Park Mall is filing for bankruptcy protection. It's one of two U.S. mall operators that filed for bankruptcy protection today because some stores have had to close or can't pay rent. Pennsylvania Real Estate Investment Trust and CBL, which operates North Park Mall, says their mall will remain open through the bankruptcy process. In a statement, CBL says they plan to use the bankruptcy process to restructure their debt into a more manageable position. A little bit later on KOAM News at 10, a former Pittsburgh high school standout has a breakout game down the road at Carney Smith Stadium.
But first, I continue to track mild weather plus an eventual return of rain chances. We'll break it all down up next. Sure enough, we turned mild after we ended the weekend on a chilly note yesterday, but with dry air still in place and all the sunshine that we saw from indigo sky and all across the area for that matter, we took advantage of that and we saw temperatures warm in a hurry after we had a cold start this morning. Contrast that to yesterday where we had morning lows right around 40, highs in the mid to upper 50s. We started cold this morning, lower to middle 30s, especially around Joplin. Then we just catapulted into the upper 60s for afternoon highs. That's what happens when you have dry air still in place. All the sunshine can't be absorbed by that dry air, so it just goes right down to the surface and wastes no time to warm us up. Thankfully, the sun has set, and as a result, we have seen temperatures gotten chilly fast after sunset, but we're still looking okay up top. Clear skies over Joplin, chilly at 54, but thankfully a south wind at 11 will keep us from turning cold again as we go throughout the course of the night. Thank goodness for that. But we are seeing a 52 chilly reading in Pittsburgh. Same for Baxter. 48, though, is some of the low-lying areas, especially in Seneca, Fairland, and then you're back to 51 around Diamond. Outlying areas outside of Pittsburgh and Joplin, where we have temperatures in the lower 50s. We're already at 46 in Iola, 49 in Parsons. It gives you an idea of the bottom line of where we're going to go. Thankfully, 40s for tonight instead of the 30s, all because of the south wind that we saw throughout the course of the day. Occasionally some gusts pushing 20 miles per hour, but we've lightened that breeze down to about 5 to 10. Still strong enough to keep us out of the 30s for a nice change of pace as we head into our Election Day Tuesday. Clear skies all day long, and we're still seeing that, not just in our region, but all across the Central Plains. Even though high pressure has scooted off toward the deep south, we're still seeing the clockwise flow. Keep that south wind in place, ready to bring in more mild air for tomorrow. In addition to that, we'll be back under the general influence of the upper ridge, currently centered across the Rockies and the Central Plains. That's going to shove the jet stream out to our northeast. That'll send us back into the 70s for afternoon highs tomorrow. Before we see that mild day come for us, we're going to have to deal with at least a cool night ahead of us. Thankfully, no cold temperatures to be seen, but definitely plan on a quiet night and a cool night. Lower to middle 40s all across the area. Joplin starts at 45 in the morning. That light southwest breeze at 5 to 10. Occasionally that could push some gusts near 20, but it'll still do the trick to push us to 69 by noon. And afternoon highs around 73 in Joplin. Everybody, though, will be in the lower to middle 70s for the afternoon. So from start to finish, Election Day, it's looking pretty good. Whether you're voting early in the morning with temperatures in the mid 40s or dealing with mild temperatures around lunchtime and to start the evening, we're looking good for voting until those polls close come 7 o'clock tomorrow night. Quick look at the rest of the week shows a quick wave wanting to pass by Wednesday. Not enough moisture for rain, so it'll just bring cloud cover into the fold. And then we're quiet to start the weekend out. Then when we hit Sunday and Monday, a pair of lows out west will start to force a cold front our way. And by that time, Sunday and Monday in particular, that is when we'll start to see the active part of Doug's pattern return, and we'll see rain chances return as a result. Before we bring rain back into the fold, we're quiet through Saturday, especially tomorrow with highs near 73, morning lows in the 50s, and highs generally in the lower 70s, Dal.
Yeah, those temperatures near ideal, really.
Pretty good.
Nice day for Election Day. Thanks, Dak. Still ahead, a former Pittsburgh High School wide receiver has a breakout game at Pitt State. We're going to hear from Dylan White next. Former Pittsburgh High School standout Dylan White shined in his Pitt State debut on Saturday. Sports Director Jacob Leonard catches up with the Purple Dragon turned Gorilla after his breakout game.
Dylan White made a splash on Saturday in his first game in a Pitt State uniform.
Growing up watching Gorilla football, that's all you dreamed of, and being able to come out here and do that, I mean, it felt awesome.
The former Purple Dragon caught 5 passes for 105 yards here at Carney Smith Stadium on Saturday, including a 72-yard touchdown in the third quarter.
We had that play early on in the game, which it was there. We just couldn't execute it. Later on, it came back, and Coach Wright, good play call. Mac put the ball where it needed to be, and I mean, everybody else did the job, which made me do my job.
I knew what he could do in terms of some of the balls that go over the top. He's going to chase them down and take them. So he exceeded my expectations game one.
Once we kind of, that first play got out of the way, kind of got relaxed. In the moment, didn't really feel like anything, you know, just playing football, catching the ball and running.
White was an all-state player at Pittsburgh High School. As a senior, he earned 4A Offensive Player of the Year honors under head coach Tom Nicholson.
It looks very familiar, different number, but we saw Dylan behind secondary most of his high school career as a junior and a senior. He was a no-brainer for us coming out of high school. We call him, you know, a 5-clipper. You watch 5 clips of his film and go, okay, we're good here, let's move on. He's always had that next gear and been able to run somebody down, run by somebody, or run to a ball. It's just, it's God-given, and when he needs it, it's there.
While it was a breakout game for the redshirt freshman, White says he's got plenty of room to grow.
After the game, I was already ready to, you know, get back to work, you know. We didn't get the win, which is what we come out week in, week out to do. So, I mean, not coming home with a win, never satisfied, so we got to bounce back this week and hopefully have a lot to film to kind of look over, see what I can do better at.
In Pittsburgh, Jacob Leonard, KOAM Sports.
White and the rest of the Gorillas will be back on the field this Saturday on the road against Missouri Western. A final check on weather is next. Take time now to honor a local veteran, Private First Class Thomas Patrick. The Anderson, Missouri native served in the U.S. Army, and we are proud to salute Private First Class Thomas Patrick. He's tonight's four-state hero. We'd love to hear about other heroes from around the 4 states. If you know a veteran, why not nominate that person? It can be someone currently serving or someone who served at any point in our nation's history. Just go to our website, KOAMNewsNow.com. Let's take a final look at tonight's KOAM News Now Insta poll. Again, we asked, are you more likely to vote for or against a candidate? The final numbers, 85% say for a candidate, 15% say, no, I vote against someone. This poll is now closed. Thanks for participating. Disney researchers are creating a humanoid robot with a lifelike gaze, and right now it's looking kind of creepy. The project is a partnership with California Institute of Technology and the University of Illinois Urbana-Champaign. In a research paper, the group says getting robot eyes to react like biological ones is a multi-step process. The robot has to perceive people and their actions, choose a gaze to respond, and then execute the look. Disney researchers say they're thinking of the robots kind of like animated characters, and that the goal is to make them believably lifelike. The difference, the animated characters, Disney princesses, Mickey Mouse, they don't creep you out. That's a little creepy. The eyes are kind of the clincher, I think. It just seems a little bit too lifelike.
That'd be kind of an odd way to spruce up the Hall of Presidents.
Yeah, I think they'll probably do that. Yes. The weather looking pretty nice.
Yeah, that's looking a lot better than the creepy robots. We're staying mild and mostly sunny for tomorrow with highs near 73. Perfect weather for Election Day. We're dry through Saturday before rain chances return on Sunday now.
Thanks for joining us. We'll see you tomorrow. Don't forget to vote. Let's take care of ourselves and each other.